You know, Jordan, there's some episodes I can't wait for. And this is one of those episodes because I get a chance to talk to the man himself, Jordan, all the way from Atlanta. Are you actually from Atlanta?
I am. I grew up in Atlanta.
Oh, outside Atlanta. Okay, I get it. Well, look, before we get started, if it's okay with you, Jordan, I always like to know the backstory, the narrative. Take a moment, tell us who is Jordan, what journey has Jordan been on, and what is Jordan doing today?
First of all, Shay, I want to just say thank you for having me on the show today, and everyone who's tuning in, thank you for tuning in. No matter where you are, no matter where you're watching, my name is Jordan. I am the Enhancement Coach. My ultimate goal with this show and, ultimately just with this talk is to, share some real tactics that you can use to really transform your life, to really transform your business, and that starts with internal growth and ultimately goes into that external growth that we see, but it starts internally, and I'd love to share my story and share some tactics. So a little bit about me, guys. My name is Jordan Rubin, and as he said, I grew up in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and, grew up in a, upper middle class family, and, kind of had this cookie cutter plan to success, go to school, get good grades, go to college, get that job, and, be really good for the next 40 years without any concept of, when do you start living? When do you start really feeling fulfillment in your life? And of course, I had this wake-up call throughout college that really transformed my life, transformed my mindset, and ultimately led me to change my environment and relationships in order to start living the life I truly want and deserve, which is part of my motto, is to step outside your comfort zone, become the strongest version of yourself, and ultimately start living the life you truly want and deserve, because I think that's the ultimate goal. So appreciate you having me on the show today.
Absolutely. That's certainly the ultimate goal, man. I'm looking forward to it. I couldn't wait. Want to say hello to my good friend Gina's out there. What's up, Gina Hall? What's up, Raymond London? Kevin's in the house. Don Anderson's in the house. William's in the house. I tell you what, do me a favor before we get kicked off. We're going to officially kick off in just a moment. But the number one question in my mind always is, why do you do this, man? I mean, you could be doing a lot of things with your time right now, and you're out there saving the world, help people live the life they truly deserve. Why does Jordan Rubin do this every single day? Why?
Time is limited. The time in your life really is limited, and we don't really conceptualize that. Most of us don't conceptualize that until we're near, like on our deathbed almost, and realize, like, shoot. Because you read all those things about people on their deathbed, like the things that they regret is not doing enough of the things they like, working too much. And a lot of us, when we're around my age, whether that's, you're in your 20s or your 30s, you're just so focused on, oh, how am I going to make money? How am I going to make a living? How am I going to have fun? And not how am I going to be able to find my purpose in life? And a lot of people are unaware of that. So my goal to share my story and share different tactics that you can use to be able to escape that box that a lot of people are in. We feel like so confined to living, whether it's a job or a business or whatever it is, feeling trapped based on what our parents want you to do, what society wants you to do, what your school teachers want you to do. And a lot of people are not willing to change because we don't see the urgency. I see the urgency. Like, the average human lifespan is 70 years. That sounds like a lot, but it's really not, considering most people work for 65 or more. Time is urgent, and you should be living it to the fullest every single day.
Man, time is urgent. You're right about that. Karen Fitzpatrick, hello to you. Alyssa, hello to you. Angela, hello to you. Dawn, hi to you as well. Hey, look, we got to get going, man. This is great. I love time is limited, and you made a promise to teach them how to make your dream life become your real life. I can't wait. I'm getting the cue from the guys. We got to get going. They give me the signal. We got to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get going.
Go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or be killed and eaten. Also, every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. You've heard it before. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be what? You better be running. That's right. That's right. You better be running. Life is about meaning, and meaning is about service. Isn't that the reason why we're all here? Isn't that what we're all searching for? 2013, the Peak Performance Institute was created. 5,000 clients who we've helped turn their idea into a reality, their reality into a business, their business into a movement, impacting 5.7 million lives around the world. Imagine that! My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Network, the world's largest organization for the well-being of an entrepreneur. And as we always say, our mission at the Happy Entrepreneur Network, our mission is to inspire, empower, and provide resources for the entrepreneur to live a balanced life and execute their vision for the people they were called to serve. And our mantra, I love our belief. Everyone should have a belief statement. Our belief is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. With that being said, let's get started. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to execute the vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And I get it. You have a vision for yourself. That is one vision on how you want to live, the clothes you want to wear, the food you want to eat. And don't worry, our guest today, he's going to share how you can do that. Some of you have a vision, I get it, for your loved ones, the ones you care the most about, the parents you want to write a check to pay off their mortgage, the kids you want to send to a college of their choice, or some of you have a vision for the people you were called to serve. Here's my promise to you. Today, Jordan Rubin is going to teach you how not just to dream about the life you want, but to live the life you want and to get out of that trap box. So let me say hello to the one and only, my man, Jordan. What's going on, my man?
Oh, not much. Just excited to be here on the show and really share my story and tactics. That's what I do, and that's what I'm here for.
Man, I love what you do. We met through a mutual guy by the name of Kevin Castillo. I hope I got that right. Castillo, did I get that right?
I think it's Castillo, but
Castillo, thanks a lot. Castillo, I was practicing. Castillo, a fantastic guy. He's a connector. He's a collaborator. He's a communicator. He may be out there watching right now. And what really took me by surprise when you and I talked was your passion, your enthusiasm, and your willingness to want to change some lives. Take a moment, if you will, first, and let's step back. And we have a core value here called Today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. I get a reboot. I get to start over. I get to get going, living my dream. And that January 1st moment, Jordan, represents that moment where you either go in the direction you want and it changes your life forever, Jordan, or you don't. You go to the gym or you sit back on the couch. You eat a hamburger or you eat vegetables. You go for your dreams or you say, I'll do it tomorrow. Take a moment, if you will. Talk about your January 1st. And what was the January 1st moment you had where you said, you know what? I'm going to be an entrepreneur. You know what? I'm going to help people move and get out of this trap box. What was your January 1st moment? For those folks out there watching right now, you can look right below the video and you can write these words. Today is my January 1st. That means you get a restart. Today is my January 1st. I'm going after my dreams. All right, Jordan, over to you. Tell us your today is my January 1st moment.
Ooh, today is my January 1st. I just needed to say that out loud so you guys can comment below and remember what to say. But my January 1st moment, I would have to say this took place back in 2015. A lot of people dream of change. When the actual date of January 1st comes around, which right now it's very, very soon. It's literally almost January 1st, 2020. And a lot of people are talking or thinking or dreaming about, oh, I'm going to get super duper fit. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to save money. People say all these different goals, but as we know statistically, 90+% of those people do not actually stick with those goals throughout the year. And, much less throughout the month even. By February, a lot of people are done. For me personally, I've noticed that you need some sort of major wake-up call in order to commit to something. Because, and this is something that one of my mentors, Tony Robbins, talks about. He says you have to, I'm trying to think of the way he words it, you don't get what you want, you get what you have to have. So you have to absolutely absolutely need it. And for me, I got to that point where I knew I needed to become a speaker. I knew I needed to become a business owner. And this happened, and I'll remember the date. I'll remember the time for the rest of my life. It was the evening of November 6th, 2015. So me and my friends, little quick backstory. I was in college at the time and a little bit lost in my ways. I was drinking all the time. I was, engaging in those college activities. I'll leave the specifics to your fantasy. But anyhow, I'm in college, drinking, and a couple friends and I, we went up to the hot tub. So now it's about November 7th at midnight. So that's why I say November 7th, which the number 7 is a very significant number to me because of it. About 2 o'clock in the morning, I keep drinking in the hot tub, passed out in the hot tub, woke up later in the hot tub, and I was the only one there. Like, I'm the only, just me, my body is the only thing in that hot tub. And, it just really opened my eyes. Like, where were my friends at this point? They were all around me when we were drinking and partying, but when I could have been there, drowned, dead, they were nowhere to be found. And, that got me thinking, what if I did drown? Like, I did drown in the hot tub. I mean, it's super easy. You see it all over the news, and, that would have been my legacy. Would have been 19-year-old college student, drowns in a hot tub. There would be a little bit of a debate on social media about, underage drinking is bad, a funeral, and that would be my legacy. Like, there would have been no real impact on people. So I started thinking, like, what is the meaning of my life at 19 years old? What is my purpose? Too many people at 19 years old, we don't get that January 1st wake-up call and start thinking, what's my major? Or what am I going to do for a job? What am I going to do for a career? Where am I going to live? See, I'm here thinking, what's my purpose? Like, how can I actually leave an impact on this world? And I would say, like, another 3 or 4 months, I really spent just searching, like, what am I actually good at? How can I actually make an impact on the world? And a little bit of a funny story, too, to take you guys out of that. A guy named Elliott Hulse on YouTube, right? I know we were talking about him briefly before this show. Elliott Hulse, guys, go look him up. Amazing mentor of mine. Actually, tag him in this video. I'd love for him to watch or tune in for a little bit. Anyway, I will start watching one of his videos. Literally, is it okay if I curse on this? I didn't ask.
No curses. This is a child-rated program.
Okay, so was that sarcasm? I couldn't even. All right, anyway, so the title of the YouTube video I come across is How to Stop Being a Bitch. That's the title of this video. And you know how YouTube has the recommendations, right? So it said the full title that I came across while scrolling through YouTube was How to Stop Being a Bitch, recommended for you. So literally YouTube was calling me out right there. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll take it up on this challenge. So I watched the video. Of course, it was a clickbait title that was really about self-development. So I watched that whole video, and it really got me thinking, okay, this guy's amazing. Like, this guy is literally speaking to me. Of course, he's got millions of viewers and subscribers, but he's speaking to me through this video. And so I committed every single day, I'm going to watch an Elliott Hulse video every single morning to get myself in the right mindset. And it wasn't because I wanted to. It wasn't because I dreamed of change. It wasn't because I wanted that dream body. It was because I felt like I needed to find a real purpose. So I did this every single morning until it got to the point where I found out, look, this guy who I've never met and still to this day have not met face to face has been just posting videos on the internet and transforming my life internally. Like, that's the power of the internet. And then I realized that's my calling, is that I need to be making videos like that. I need to be recording podcasts. I need to be speaking to people because now I have a story. I have a unique perspective. And it was at that moment that I realized I need to start a business. I need to be a speaker, even though I'm naturally, and people who knew me back then are like, dude, introvert. Like, Jordan was the guy back in high school who was too afraid to literally raise my hand and ask a question in class. Mm-hmm. I was that guy. So I'm like, shoot, how am I going to be a speaker? But I had the message and I had the desire, so I committed to the change. And I hope that answers your question. It was very long-winded, but that's my January 1st. Yeah,
it's spot on because today is your January 1st. Congratulations, one, on being committed. Congratulations on taking action, and we've all been there. I'm so glad you shared that. You know, when you say today is your January 1st, Miki, who's watching right now, David Thomas, who's watching right now, what's up, Gregory Sneed, who's out there watching right now, might be wondering, okay, you had your today is my January 1st moment. What are 3 things like you did? Like when you got out the hot tub, I don't know, and you looked around, what are 3 things you did to get on the right path and to stay on the right path? And how do you spell Elliott's last name for those folks that want to go out there and Google him and look at him? You gave him a shout out, all right? You gave the guy a shout out. So we got to take it all the way for those folks that want to find him.
E-L-I-O-T-T, Elliott, and then Hulse is H-U-L-S-E. Actually spam tag this guy. Like I want this guy to be like, who is blowing up my Facebook notifications. But so 3 things that I really did to transform my life. And I'm glad you said the number 3, because I definitely think they're when giving some sort of advice or using any sort of tips, 3 really has a rhythm to it. And also in my brand new book, which is actually based on Elliott's teachings very roughly, it's called Trapped in a Box. I just released it about 2 months ago, and I talk about the 3 things that you really need to transform in order to stay consistent and actually, execute on the things, because a lot of people have that desire, not a lot of people take consistent action. So the first thing is to transform your mindset. Okay. And that's what I did when I sat down. Like I woke up every single morning watching one of Elliott's videos, or I'd listen to podcasts, or I'd listen to audio books. Like I even got to a point where I just turned off the radio. Now, this is per another one of my mentor's requests. He's like, don't listen to the radio. When you're going to work and you're listening to the radio, for those of you that are at jobs that you are looking to get out of those jobs, and you're listening to the radio on the way to work, like if you have that long commute, you could be listening to podcasts. You could be listening to audiobooks. You could be listening to this show. You could be actually doing something to help you escape that situation in your life. So the most important thing is mindset. And I say mindset's more important than skill set. The reason I say that is because you want skill set, you want the blueprint, you want the steps, you go on Google. Like if I wanted to learn how to bake a 5-course meal, I could go on Google and find the recipe. But am I actually going to take action? Am I going to go get the ingredients and cook? That depends on my mindset, whether I want it enough. So mindset, number 1. Once you transform that mindset, then it comes to your surrounding environment. And, that could be in the form of videos. But a lot of times that's the, how's your work environment? What's your living situation? Like for me, back in college, my living situation was not ideal. Like, the, physical environment, the people in my life were not necessarily to the that I was ultimately meant to be. And that can be a really difficult decision to actually transform your environment. So mindset, environment, and the last thing I focus on is like those key relationships. And I call this your executive team in my book. Like when you have the right executive team around you, you can be successful. You got to look at yourself, like even if you're not a business owner yet, you're the CEO of your life. And the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people around you, those are your executives. That's your CFO. That's your VP of sales. That's your VP of marketing. Those are the people that are ultimately going to, run your business into the ground or help you be successful. So those key relationships in your life, whether those are business relationships or personal relationships, when you got the mindset, environment, and relationships all together, these factors help you naturally stay consistent when you wake up every single morning.
Man, so well said. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with none other than the one and only Jordan Rubin, by the way, with Enhanced Coaching. And he's here right now. He's breaking it down so you don't have to dream about the life. You can literally have the life that you want. And we come back, we're going to do a little deeper dive. He has a book out called Get Out of the Trap Box. I think I did a paraphrase of that.
Trapped in a box.
Trapped in the box.
Yes.
And some of you, you're not physically trapped in the box, but you're mentally trapped in the box. Or maybe your goals are in the box. Or maybe your new business is in the box. Or maybe your relationship is in the box. Maybe your finances in the box. Whatever it is trapped in the box. We come back. I'm asking to break that down for us. We'll be back in just a moment. Let's go over to Rob Hulse. And Rob Hulse talk about be present where you are. And for you that's watching right now, you can look right below the video and write these words. Today is my January 1st. That's a signal that you're going to take it up another level. That's a signal you're going to raise your standards. Just look right below the video and say, today is my January 1st. I get a new start. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to get my health together. Today is my January 1st. My mindset is in tune. We'll be back in just a moment. Why? Because today is your January 1st. We don't wait. We make it happen today. We'll be back.
Hey, guys.
All right.
Me and Daddy are here.
All right. I'm doing a video.
I got a question.
No, it's not a question. This is a video where I'm telling people something. I'm telling them that today is their January 1st. Today is your January 1st Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, because today is the only day you got. Because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday is gone. So the reason why today being your January 1st is significant, because it keeps you from procrastination. Procrastination is the destroyer of dreams. Yeah, it's the destroyer. It's the killer of dreams. So take action. Be present where you're present. That's the real gift. Be present where you are present. That is the real gift. Today is your January 1st. Say today.
Today.
Say today is your January 1st.
Today is January 1st.
Say it loud.
Today is January 1st.
That's it. Don't forget it.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to inspire. Our mission is to empower. And our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources you need necessary to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And Rubin showed up today because he understands that a number of us are trapped in the box. And it's time for us to break free. Now, I'm going to ask Jordan, as he's here right now, to tell us, he gave me a sneak preview a little earlier, but I'm going to ask him to do a quick recap on why did he write the book Trapped in a Box? And number 2, Jordan, who is this book for? Like, who should even read this book that's out there right now?
Well, absolutely. I appreciate you asking that question. I love how you added the tagline. I didn't even mention this. The full title is Trapped in a Box and How to Break Free. So it literally does show you how to break free. It is available on Amazon if you guys did want to check that out. My name is Jordan Rubin. But so a little summary of Trapped in a Box. So first of all, why did I decide to write a book? Like, it's a long process. That's a big process, like a big project. Sit down and write a book. So I came up with the idea, I would say early 2016. So after I'm watching Elliott Hulse's videos and, I'm transforming my mindset, I come up with the idea that one day I'm going to write a book. One of these days I'm going to write a book. And I'm thinking, like, man, when I'm in my 40s or 50s or like somewhere long down the road, I'm going to have this whole story about my life that's going to like really just transform people. It's going to be a New York Times bestseller. It's going to go all over the place. That was my initial dream. And so then, months pass and I keep thinking about that, right? I keep writing out little vision boards, which are, really important for mindset too, is, you can go on Photoshop and, oh man, I wish I had a picture of that with me. But I actually went on Photoshop and found a picture and literally just like Photoshopped the words Trapped in a Box written by Jordan Rubin. And it just kind of made it come to life when I did that. And then, so it was about October 2016, about 3 years ago from today. And I actually sat down and said, why don't I just get started right now? What is actually stopping me from sitting down at this desk? Now, I'm at the University of Georgia. I'm in the library, and I'm thinking about how I'm going to write a book. I'm thinking about when I'm going to write a book. I said, what if I just sat down right now for 30 minutes and just started writing what's on my mind? Like, I didn't do an outline or anything. I didn't think about what the release date was going to be. I just sat down and wrote. And pretty much, almost, it has been edited a little bit up until the release, but pretty much those 1 to 200 words that I wrote is the opener for Trapped in a Box. It described how I was feeling back then, and then now my book being released three years after that, the rest of the book has kind of talked about my development from that time of feeling trapped and bound almost to the life I was in, feeling like this is what I have to do, this is what I'm required to do, and there's nothing I can do to get out of it, but I know I'm going to. So pretty much fast forward 3 years, since I actually sat down and wrote, it's been a bumpy road, but I continued just writing. I continued updating it. Even when I was in Washington, D.C. for a little bit for an internship.
Oh, man.
And, oh, man, this is a story right here. You're going to love this or hate this. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm in Washington, D.C., right? And I still got my book. I got, probably about 20,000 words written at this point on my laptop. I didn't have it backed up like a genius. It was just on a Word document. I was smart. Not. But anyway, I got the book there. And it's Thanksgiving. I'm about to fly back to Atlanta to see my family for Thanksgiving. And, I'm rushing through the airport. I'm about to board the plane and realize my laptop's not with me. So that I'm that crazy guy running around the airport like, oh, I stopped here to get a muffin. Like, oh, let me go see if I set it down here. Let me go to the Lost and Found. Couldn't find it. Got on the plane. Not only was my laptop gone, but all those 20,000 words that I wrote over the past year gone. And oh man, that was just so like just staring out the airplane window. Like, man, there's my book. That was gonna transform lives, and now it's gone. Thankfully. And, I don't think this is by coincidence, but, I pretty much restarted the book from a new perspective. The first time I wrote, it was 100%, information and tact. The second time I wrote, it was from a perspective of this is an autobiography about my life. So I had the second perspective. Then at about March 2018, they actually found the laptop and shipped it back to my parents' house in Atlanta. And I was able to get it back. So now I had two perspectives to write from. And that's actually how the final copy got in. Now it's a perspective of my story and my experiences, but also what I learned from it and what you can take away. So to give a little more of a breakdown of that, a little more of a breakdown. So like I said, mindset, environment, relationships, those are the big keys, right? And so as far as mindset, like there's definitely certain things you can do. Like I'm big on having a morning routine. Like and this is something I've really even more so implemented over the past couple of months is when you wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I'll say things that I'm grateful for. When you start out with gratitude, you eliminate all fears and worries about the things that you have to do, and you start appreciating the opportunities, like even going to a job you don't really want to go to or go into a meeting you don't want to go to. You start appreciating those opportunities and just being so much more effective throughout the day. So I would say that, and just having a routine that you do to get yourself in the right mindset. What is
something today, sorry, I may cut you off. If you were just doing it today, let's say, for example, and everyone is out there, all can participate. Jordan has allowed me to do this. You can look right below the video. You can write, I am grateful for blank. I am grateful for blank. Now, I'm going to ask Jordan to fill in the blank. Right? I'm going to say, Jordan, I am grateful for blank. And he might have 1, 2, or 3 things he's grateful for today or maybe over the last month. But as he's doing that, by the way, I want you to take a moment because he says something that's very important. He talks about gratitude. You look right below the video. And I want you to write, I am grateful for blank. Now, I'll start off, and then I'm going to pass it on to Jordan. Now, you participate as well. All of us are part of the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and you might see something that you weren't even thinking about, and he says, wow, I need to add that to my list. It's okay. So I'll start off and say, I am grateful for the ability to take my mother to the doctor's appointment today. And it was a time I looked at it as a chore. Like, oh my gosh, it's my turn. It's not my brother's turn. I got to drive. She's only 15 minutes away. Pick her up and then take her to the doctor's, which is going to be a 2 to 4 hour type of deal because we go to the doctor's, then we go to the grocery store, and then we stop and get something to eat. But today, I'm grateful that I have the time and I have a mom here that I can do that with. So I'm really grateful for that. And so I'm trying to appreciate that time, not worry about all the other things I've got to do because there's nothing more important than spending time with Mother Dear. So I'm grateful that I have time to take my mother to the doctor. Jordan, I know this has nothing to do with what you're going to be talking about later, but I'm just curious. Do you mind sharing what is Jordan grateful for these days?
Man, I got a lot of things actually on my mind right now, but first and foremost, I just want to say, and feel free to agree or disagree with me on this. These are just the things I'm grateful for. Me personally, I'm thankful for my God. I grew up Christian, still am Christian, and truly believe that not only the book getting back to me, but also me surviving that incident in the hot tub. Nothing's by choice, and it's God who's given me this opportunity to be able to speak on this platform and be able to transform lives. So I'm grateful for those opportunities. I'm grateful for my God, and I want to give a shout out. I don't know, some people in the comments I've been checking out on Facebook. I want to give a shout out to a lot of my friends in the Atlanta area who've been sharing this and commenting.
Go ahead, give a shout out. I see Rachel's out there. She says, I'm grateful for my life. Gina Hall says, I'm grateful for sisterhood, vision, and clarity. Who do you want to give a shout out to that's out there right now? Karen Fitzgerald was working hard, by the way. You got to give her a shout out. I don't know if you know her or not.
Yeah, I know Karen.
Karen, hey. She is working hard out there, man. She's like sharing it and making comments.
Yes. Angie, I know Angie's out there. Rochelle. Man, I'm grateful for, friends that are willing to do all that. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for participating. That's a shout out. So won't take a minute, since you said what you're grateful for, take a minute. And for those folks out there like Gina Hall that's out there, Karen Fitzgerald, or anybody that's watching, if you listen to the podcast, you can do it. If you listen to the replay, it's okay. You can do it as well. But go ahead and post right below and just put I help people ... Maybe you're a business owner. And you might want to put I help businesses ... So if they have a business, you can spotlight your business. How's that, Kevin? I mean, I can say Kevin. Oh my gosh, how's that, Jordan? How's that, Jordan?
Oh,
how's
absolutely,
that, Jordan?
Absolutely. I love it.
Good. Now you said you're grateful for God, and I grew up as a pastor's child. I understand that, and as a Christian as well.
Oh,
so
nice.
we're of the same faith. I get that. Now, I know it's not for everybody out there, and that's okay. Some of you believe in higher power, or you believe in the universe, or whatever. But we happen to believe in God. What's something else that Jordan Rubin is grateful for on this day?
I would say honestly the oxygen I breathe. Mm-hmm. Think about that. I've been focusing on meditation and breath work. Actually, this is just very recent, like the past month. And just think about that. Every time you take a breath of air, I'm thankful. I'm grateful for food. I did a 72-hour fast.
Wow.
Back like right after Thanksgiving, right after binge eat day, I did binge fast day, and I didn't eat anything for 72 hours straight. And I will tell you this, that'll make you thankful for food. That'll make you thankful for a Granny Smith apple, thinking like, man, like a Granny Smith apple. Like normally you wouldn't want one. It's that's too healthy, that's too bland. But no, when you haven't eaten something for 72 hours, anything sounds amazing, and it really makes you grateful. So I'm grateful for food, oxygen, my family, and of course, this opportunity to be on the show, and always a great opportunity to share my message, and I love it, and I'm very grateful for that.
Well, you're amazing, man. I'm grateful that you're here, man. I know we're gonna do a dive. We're gonna be sharing with folks exactly how they can live the life they truly deserve. We'll come back to that. I asked them for 3 ways you could do that. He gave some good ways already, but we'll come back and we'll ask them, hey, man, what are 3 things people can do to truly walk and live the life that they truly deserve? Shout out to your person, Karen. Karen says she's representing Colorado Springs in the house. She wanted to know they're in the house, by the way. I love it. I love it. We're gonna go down to Raleigh, North Carolina, over the Dr. Kenneth Fig Pen. And she talks about you got to get into position. You got to push through the limit. You got to push through your limits in order to get what you want. We'll be back in just a moment with one and only Jordan. Jordan's here right now. He's on the other side. He's teaching you how you not only can dream the life, but you can live the life, and you can get out of that trap box. Trapped in the box, how to break free. We'll be back in just a moment. Take it away, Dr. Kenneth Fig Pen.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you #NextSisterUp. I'm here with you today in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Push it past the limit. Push it past the limit. Now, we're historically used to hearing people say, push it to the limit. But when you push it to the limit, you're keeping yourself from reaching your dreams and your goals. Here's the thing. I like to go to the gym, and I have a goal of getting lean and getting toned. But I've been doing the same workout for eons. I have a workout called Keep It 100. So no matter what exercise I do 100 reps. But I've been using the same weights forever. And I wonder why I'm not seeing progress or results as I push myself to my limit. You see, when you push yourself to the limit, you're doing the things that you know you can do. When you push yourself to the limit, you're gonna see little to no progress. When you keep yourself in the confines of your limit, you're keeping yourself in your comfort zone. Now, in business, I challenge us to push ourselves past the limit. So yes, that might mean getting up 30 minutes earlier to do something. That might mean staying up 30 minutes later to get something completed. That might mean investing in a coach. That might mean asking questions, updating your strategic plan. It means you have to do something different to get different results. Push yourself past the limit. So I challenge you this week, push yourself past the limit, not to the limit. My name's Dr. K. Make it a great day.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country, where we have a mission, and that is to empower. It is certainly to inspire, but more importantly, to provide you with the resources necessary to execute the vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And this morning, this evening, this afternoon, tonight, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the world listening, you're here with Jordan A. Rubin. And Jordan Rubin is breaking down Trapped in the Box, how to break free, how to really live the life you want, not just dream about it. That's a paraphrase. And I know some of you are asking, I got a text in and saying, hey, what does this enhance? Good question. I'm going to ask him as well. That's a good question. Like, why did he name it Enhanced Coaching? He could have used a lot of other, he and I were talking about that, by the way, Kelvin. He and I were talking about that. Like, he could have called it awesome coaching or fantastic or amazing coaching, but he picked the word enhance. So, Kevin, I think it's a fair question. Why did you pick the word enhance, and what does it mean to you? And then we'll get into ways they can break free. But they're curious. I'm curious. Talk to us, my man.
Absolutely. And that's a great question, actually, because Enhance has been a brand for me for actually about a year now. And, you know, when I first started getting into the self-development industry, when I first started getting into becoming a speaker, I marketed myself, I called myself a motivational speaker. And, anyone who's anyone can call themselves a motivational speaker, but you kind of want to know, like, more specifically, what can you help me do? You know what I mean? Like, how can you actually, who is this for? Why should I ask him to be on our podcast? Why should I ask Jordan to be a speaker? And so I started thinking, I got a lot of different pieces of advice from other people, like a change agent or something of that nature. So I started thinking change agent, that's actually a really good one. I'm helping people to change their lives. And so I started going with change agent for a little while. I had it in my bio on Instagram. I would introduce myself as the change agent. And then around December, I came up with Enhance because I started thinking, do I really want people to change their lives? Because when I went from high school to college, and I don't even think I got into that on this show, but in high school, I was living the good life, so to speak. I was the good kid. I got the good grades. I got accepted into the university. I was on the swim team. I'd never really made any quote unquote bad choices when I was in high school. And then I changed and went into that drinking mode when I went into college. So that was a change, but that was a really negative change. I don't want people to experience that change. And, God forbid, I wouldn't want to be the reason that somebody makes that change. I don't want someone to just change their life. And so then I started thinking, I want them to enhance their lives. I want them to actually transform. And, then I started saying, ooh, the Enhancement Coach. That just came up, and I was like, I really like that. I think it's unique. I'm the only enhancement coach that I know on the planet, so I think I can rock with it. And then, of course, Enhance the brand came very because I wanted to make it actually into a business. I wanted to make it into a brand. Yeah. And I realized that, I got the Enhanced background right here. I don't know if you guys can see. I got my.
Oh, I see the shirt, man. Yeah. You got to tell me we can buy the shirts, man. I got to get a shirt. I mean, gee whiz, can Shay buy an Enhanced shirt? Gotta represent the man's brand.
Yes, absolutely. I got the Enhanced shirts. I got the Rooted Within My Purpose shirt, which I don't have physically with me to display, but I'll definitely post a link below for my Enhanced Coaching website. Right now it's a big cartel website. I got my book on there, t-shirts, but it's also, I have the athletic shirt. So it's like, anyone who goes to work out, you're looking to enhance your physical health. You're looking to enhance your mental health. And now I'm doing a lot of work on spiritual health and, growth in that manner. And then, of course, the external growth, which comes down to like networking and actually, financial growth, sales, and actually growing your business.
Yeah, man, that's so important. And, I'm just curious. We're going to get into, how to break free. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. But to the college student that's listening right now, to the adult that's out there right now, to the old head that's watching right now, and they're like, hey, man, this guy's saying some cool stuff. Is it really possible for me? And if you had 2 minutes to talk to that person that was Jordan when you were back in college, what would you say to that person right now is just doubting? Now, they could be any age right now, by the way. And what I like about Jordan is Jordan didn't say I had to ask any questions. He said, Shay, let's just have a conversation. He didn't give me no questions I had to ask. So I'm just curious, what would Jordan say? You're their Elliott Hulse right now, and they're watching. They're like, God, He don't understand. Every year I say I'm going to do something different, and I don't. I start something, and then I'm on track, and then I'm off track. And the guy, God, Lee, but I like what he's saying. If you had maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes to kind of talk to them, and you could speak life into them right now, what would you say to them out there right now that's doubting if they could do it or not?
The first question I would ask is, how, I mean, I know it's very, very cliche and overused. How badly do you want it, and why do you want it? Like, why do you want to start a business? Do you want it just so you can seem cool? Do you want it just to make a little more money? Do you want it to get attention, or do you want it for a greater purpose? And when I say purpose, there's 3 factors to that. A purpose is something, A, you enjoy, B, you can grow as an individual from, and C, you can help other people enhance. So, like, you know, doing something you enjoy, like, that's great. You know, if you like playing video games, you can play video games. Like, that's an enjoyable trait. But then, is that something you can really grow as a human being from? Is that actually going to help you in every aspect of your life? Probably not. In fact, it could become an addiction. Like, you know, Fortnite. You know, everybody's jumping on the Fortnite train. I personally have not, but you know, that can become an addiction. That, amongst other things. And then, of course, you got something that you can grow from, like working out. Like, I love working out. I love going for distance runs. I'm actually getting back into swimming, which I did back in high school. So, looking to possibly do a competitive swim meet in 2020. We'll see. Didn't plan on saying that live, but I did. And, you know, that's something I can grow as an individual from, but is that really transforming other people's lives? So ultimately, if you're going into business, it's got to be also, you got to want to transform someone's life. And I love how you address that question, because that's exactly who my book is for.
Man, I love that.
19-year-old Jordan, or, you know, someone else who might not be 19 years old, but is in the exact same situation. Like, I hate where I'm at, but I see no way out of this tunnel.
Man, I love it, man. When the next time I'm down in Atlanta, not an hour and a half further where you live, but in Atlanta, we've got to go for a run, man. I'm a runner, love doing it, man. So we got to go out there and get some miles in, my man.
Now, see, a full marathon, I haven't done that yet. I've done a half, but God,
man, we can do 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles. You know, we can just hang out, man. We can enhance our conversation together. For those folks that are out there, I see Saucony Prince is out there, Rochelle is out there, I see Rhonda's out there, Melita's out there. Some of you watching right now. I'm going to ask Jordan if he'll take a moment. We're going to go to a commercial. We're going to go to Dorsey Hill. She's actually in Houston, Texas. She talks about mindset boundaries. But I'm going to ask him if he'll put his link right below so y'all can all connect with him directly as well. And also, here's what I want you to put below. If you're ready to make this your best year ever. No, you're ready to make this your best month. No. You're ready to make the next 1,440 minutes. That's 1,440 minutes. Your best 1,440 minutes ever. Do me a favor. Look right below the video and just write these words. It's my time. Hashtag do it now. Just look right below the video. Look right below the video and put it's my time. Hashtag do it now. Just look right below the video and put it's my time to get going. Hashtag do it now. And if someone writes that, hit the like button. Hit the heart button. Go ahead and pay it forward. When we come back, I'm going to ask Jordan to maybe open up his book. Pick out a chapter. Tell us what's in the chapter and the lesson that he learned or he's teaching from just that one chapter. I know he wasn't planning on doing this, but don't worry. He's out hanging out with us. He said, Shay, I'm just hanging out. We're having a conversation. And then we'll get to the other, what are 3 things you can do to break free? Jordan said, look, let's just have a conversation. We'll be back. Let's go over to Dorsey Hill, Mindset Boundaries. We come back. We'll be back with Jordan A. Rubin. Take it away, Dorsey.
Hello, hi, howdy. I am Dorsey Hill and I'm the founder of the Healthy, Happy, Fun Life Network. And I'm so excited to be here with you today to share my thought of the week with the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. No, the fabulous Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. And I'm happy. Do you want to know why? It's a secret. Shh. It's just our secret. Don't tell anybody. It stays here in this tribe, okay? I'm happy because today is my January 1. Whoop, 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 January 1. And my thought of the week is boundaries. We're going to talk some more about boundaries today with your mind. Why? Because what you consume, what you digest with your mind shows up 100% in your reality, in your business. We consume so much through social media, through TV, what we read, the books we read, what we listen to, what we say to ourselves. And every single thing you put into your mind, it immediately goes to work to manifest in reality. And let me tell you, most of the time, you're doing things that are kind of poopy, and nobody likes you in your poopy entrepreneurial pants. We like you in your happy pants. Why? Because you're happy, you're healthy, you're having fun, and you're not pooping on everything, including your business. So don't put in junk, because that's exactly what comes out into reality, into your world. Guarding your mind, setting those boundaries with what you allow into your mind shows up 100% either in action or in no action. So keep your mind safe. Be careful what you put in, because what you put into your mind is more important than what you put into your body. Well, thank you so much for listening. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. And my wish for each and every one of you is that you are happy, you are healthy, and that you have a ton of fun in this life that you are creating and living. Big Texas love and hugs to each and every one of you. Bye for now. Mwah.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. And we're on a mission to empower. We're on a mission to inspire. We're on a mission to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources you need necessary to execute the vision for the people you were called to serve. And Jordan A. Rubin, our guest today, he understands one of our core values. And one of our core values is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. And so he's talking about how to get results in your life, which can transform. I see you, Coach. I see you, Terry. Hey, I see you, Doran. They can transform over to your business. And how important is that? He's known as the Enhancement Coach. He's written a book, Trapped in the Box, How to Break Free. And he has his own podcast out there, and just a really cool kind of guy. But more importantly, he's a very nice human being. He's someone I had the opportunity to talk to. I love his message. I love where his heart is. He has a heart to give, and he has a heart to serve, and he's here serving us. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that, Rubin. Rubin. I keep saying, well, I keep Rubin, and then I go Jordan. It's Jordan A. Rubin. Shay, get it right.
Yes, sir.
I'm not perfect, but I'm getting better. Jordan A. Rubin. Jordan, can we pause for a moment? Can we slow down, and then we'll speed up? And we have something here called the Champion's Creed. And the Champion Creed represents when we acknowledge another entrepreneur. We acknowledge another human being, and we tell them how great they are and how awesome they are and how amazing they are. And what I like to do for those folks that are watching for the first time, you're in for a treat. For those folks that are here every single time, here's what I want you to do. Any of you can do this. I'm going to read the Champion's Creed. It's my mentor gave me this poem 15 years ago. He said, Shay, read this in good times, and I've had some great times, and very dark times, and I've had some dark times as well. And it's going to hold you over, and it has. So I pay it forward you. Here's what you need to do. You look right below the video. You look below the video. If you're watching listen to the podcast or the conference call, or you're on Roku or Amazon Fire or Apple TV, you can still go over to happyentrepreneurstribe.com. You can still do this, but look right below the video and write these words: you are a champion, #never give up. I want you to put you. So you're not talking about you. You're saying you are a champion, and you are a champion, and you are a champion. We're going to pat someone else on the back. On this marathon run, on this race, we're on the sidelines giving out water and high fives, and we're saying you're a champion, and you're a champion. So look right below the video and write these words: you are a champion, #never give up. And that's for the entrepreneurs out there that's had a setback. For the entrepreneurs out there that's doing really, really well. They got a lot of pressure. Well, you do good. It's a lot of pressure. It's for you as well. I'm going to put this up. Let me put this up there. Let me read the Champion's Creed. It says, the Happy Entrepreneur Champion's Creed. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying and keep trying, and I keep going. I'm going to ask Jordan A. Rubin if he would do me a favor. If he would just write those words, not write those words, he would just read the Champion's Creed. And I know you share so much already, Jordan, but do you mind being authentic and maybe, if you're comfortable, sharing a time where there was a setback in your life and it was a challenge and what you did to overcome that challenge, to be a champion as well and use some of these things. You share so many stories along the way. There might be another time, but things just didn't work out. Do you mind doing that, my man?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I got so many I can choose from. You said
well, pick one. There it is. Read the Champion's Creed. As he does that, all of you, you look right below the video and put, "You are a champion." # never give up. Take it away, Jordan.
All right. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail. And I love that last part, and keep trying.
And keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. We're part of the Puff Daddy generation, Jay-Z generation. We got to have the remix. Keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. Yeah. Tell us about a time, man, that there was a challenge in your life. What was the setback, and what did you do to overcome it, my man?
So here's the one I'm thinking of right now. Was actually back in my junior year of college, right? So I'm still going through that transformational period. I know sometime down the road I'm going to have my book published. I know sometime down the road I'm going to be a speaker, but my ultimate goal, before graduating college, because I still wanted to graduate, was to get a job, right? Or to get an internship at that point. So I remember it was the beginning of my junior year, and I was like, I'm going to get an internship next summer. I have to. I know some of these internships actually pay, and I'm like, that would be awesome. I get some experience and get some money. So I go in for the first interview, and I get that, I go in for the interview. I thought it went well, and then I go back. They say, "Oh yeah, okay, we'll reach back out to you in about 3 to 5 business days with our decision. Nice meeting you. Here's our business cards, yada yada." And then 3 to 5 days pass. I get the email that says, "Jordan, thank you so much for coming in and interviewing with us," or something along the lines of, while you were such a great candidate for us to choose from, we unfortunately decided to go in other directions," which is their nice way of saying thanks but no thanks. And I didn't get the opportunity, so I'm like, oh man, that really hurt. I know it sounds ridiculous because, looking back at it, as far as getting a job, there's so many opportunities out there. There's so many businesses that need help. So that's exactly what I did is, I went to different networking events. In college, went to networking events with professionals, not just young professionals, but older professionals looking to hire. And I would continue going in there. And I probably did about 20 to 25 different interviews throughout the 2016 to 2017 school year for me, and did not get a single offer. And that just really, really hurt because I kept putting myself out there man, why does nobody want, what am I doing wrong at these opportunities? But, and it really, really hurt. But I will say that by the end of that year, and this is actually what led me to go to Washington, D.C., which I was in for about that 4-month internship in the fall, was I got that opportunity. And that was at the very end. It was okay, now you get to go up to Washington, D.C. and do an internship. So I got to live in Washington, D.C. I got to actually walk outside of my apartment that I was in, the internship housing, turn to the left and see the Capitol building. Walk a little bit further, and, that's actually what, ironically got me into running. Was because I just run around that amazing. And I know you do that. I know you run around.
I mean, you were literally maybe 7 to 10 blocks from my house. I'm right off of Capitol Hill, man. So you were right in the place to be. Yeah, that's amazing.
Crazy. But yeah, that was a really, really difficult time for me back then. I started really doubting myself. But the lesson there for you guys to take advantage of is, I know the ultimate goal here is to get into starting your business. Maybe it's getting another job, maybe, really just enhancing your finances. But simply putting in the work, even though you fail over and over again, you learn something new. Every single one of those interviews, I learned something new. And I do think that played a part in me, becoming a great speaker, is because I learned, how do I present myself to all these different interviewers? And that turned into me to go into my own business, being able to go on stage and share the stage actually with Trent Shelton and Charlie Rocket this year, which was amazing. And I got to give a shout out to Mike Faber. I don't know if he's tuning in. I shared the link with him for giving me that opportunity. That was an amazing event.
Wow, man, that was pretty cool to be on the stage with Trent Shelton and the rest of them, man. That is super incredible. You guys are here with the one and only
Talk about pressure.
Oh, with pressure. I can see it. He's just amazing. I never met the guy, but I've watched his videos. Amazing guy. I follow him as well. We come back. You're here with Jordan A. Rubin. Don't worry. We're going to come right back in just a moment. He's going to open up his book. He has it somewhere in his house. And he's going to take one chapter out of there. He's going to give you the summary of the chapter and then give you the lesson that you can walk away with to help you break free. Get out that trap box. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to go over to Sean Harper. Played in the NFL for 7 seasons. This is a fantastic guy. He's going to talk about the law of capacity and what that means. We'll be back in just a moment. Jordan, I'm going to tell you, for those folks that are watching, you don't want to miss it. He's going to open up his book, give us one lesson, and then one idea we can walk away with. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, my name is Sean Harper, motivational speaker, author, investor. I love investing in people because people have the potential of generating years of dividends. This is my January 1st. And as I'm moving in January 1st, I have to be mindful of the laws, the law of capacity. Now, if you know me, I break all the rules, but I never break laws. If you break laws, laws will break you. Laws are unchangeable. So the law of capacity is that you will grow in proportion to your environment. It reminds me of a story of a guy named Walt Disney. We all know Walt Disney, but Walt Disney started out after a couple failed ventures. He started out with Disneyland, south of Anaheim, California. And he had great success, but he had one challenge. He was landlocked. He was landlocked, and so he couldn't expand. And so he secretly, anonymously, began to buy up land in the Orlando area. And he formed shell companies, and he brought 500 acres here, 100 acres here with this company, and maybe 2,000 acres with this company. And he went on, and a investigative journalist caught on to it, but not until he amassed over 26 to 30,000 acres. And now that man, who is now deceased, still has land that's not been developed. His dream was huge, but his capacity was small. One of the problems or challenges that we face as entrepreneurs, as business owners, business leaders, is that we run out of capacity. When there's stress in the business, when there's stress as an entrepreneur, there's usually one or two problems. A, you don't have the systems, or B, you have a lack of capacity. That is a spiritual law. And I often compare spiritual laws, or look for evidence of spiritual laws in nature. You take a shark, put it in the fish tank, it gets this big. Take that same baby shark, put it in the ocean, it gets this big. Before you dream, or right after you dream, the first thing you do is you begin to build your capacity. Before you build up, you gotta build down. Thank you. Play to win. Bye-bye.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country, where we have a mission. That is to empower. Our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide the entrepreneur with the resources necessary in order to execute that big vision they have for the people they were called to serve. And imagine in the good book Bible, and Jordan and I happen to be on the same page as it relates to faith, and imagine that you're reading about Noah, and Noah has a vision given to him by God, because you don't create a vision comes to you, through you, for someone else. And imagine Noah didn't have a hammer. Imagine he didn't have any nails. Imagine that Noah doesn't even have wood, can't execute the vision. And maybe you're like that as an entrepreneur right now. You got to build yourself up. You got to be a leader of one before you're a leader of many. And so Jordan is here right now, and he's helping you get out of that trap box, helping you break free. He's going to tell you about the book that he's recently written. He's going to give you one chapter in the book, a summation of the chapter, and then what you can do to break free. And as he does that, Jordan, I'm going to ask you if you also let them know how they can connect with you and how they can get the book as well. Take it away, my man. Give us one chapter out the book and a lesson that we can walk away with.
All right, so here's how I want to do this. So I got the book right here. I got 7 chapters in this bad boy. Pick a number between 1 and 7, and I'll give you a quick summary of it.
I like that. I like that. Pick a number, Shay. So we're gonna go with number 1. Let's see what he comes out the gate with. Like, ooh, number one. Like, if I open up the book and I just read the first chapter, because some of us are not gonna make it to chapter 7. I just read the first chapter. How's that gonna help me now?
Man, chapter 1 is really where I get into my story that I've already shared. But, I go really, really in depth on, psychologically how I felt and, how it impacted me, and for those of you guys who are just tuning in, I told my story about how, I went to college, got into the drinking, the American Pie lifestyle almost, to give you guys a visual there, and got into an incident where I was drinking in a hot tub and I passed out and literally was inches away from death, being unconscious in a body of water. and I talk about how that made me feel. And something I did not mention on the show was that while I was there, and I distinctly remember this, before I actually lost consciousness in the hot tub, I really felt my life flashing before me. I started thinking about, everything that led up to this situation. My parents that supported me, would they really be happy to know that I'm engaging in all these activities in college? I started thinking about my childhood friends that really supported me. Would they really, how would they feel about me getting in this situation? Like, all the positives in my life kept flashing back, and I started thinking of where I am right now. So really, just chapter 1, it really does focus on the mindset, and it really does focus on my journey. But the way that can help you is really being able to dive deep and understand that I made it through that. And to paint the picture a little bit more, when I woke up from that hot tub, I recognized, shoot, I could have drowned. I need to make changes. The people in my life were like, oh, cool story, man. Like, what are we going to do next weekend? I'm like, shoot, next weekend? We're talking about next weekend? Like, I almost died. Like, I need to make dire changes in my life. And I felt that calling. No one else did. And what you got to understand is, you have this desire to start a business. You have this desire. I know January 1st is coming up. People have the desire to transform their physique, transform their mindset. You got to understand that gift, that vision has been given to you and you only, and it's up to you to execute it. Honestly, that's where chapter 1 comes from.
Wow.
I like really getting you there.
I like that. And what do you say to the person out there that just struggles with just taking action? They're like, man, you don't understand. I always say I'm going to do it, but for some reason, I don't take action. What do you say to that person?
So the reason people don't take action is because they're afraid. Like, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, you're afraid of something. You could be afraid of failure. You could be afraid of other people judging you. You could be afraid of putting in all that work and it not working out. You could be afraid of the work itself sometimes. So I think one of the biggest things that helped me, at least initially, and I'll say 2 things actually. The first one is literally telling yourself it's easy. Right? So what is difficult? Difficult is just a mindset. Think about like a marathon, for example. You go out to run a marathon, like most people, like even me, I was like 26.2 miles. That's crazy. But if I went out there and just said, 26.2 miles, that's easy. Let's do it. You go out there and you automatically get yourself in, all right, well, let's just get started. Maybe you don't make it the whole 26 the first time, but you get out there because you eliminated that mental barrier. And I get into that in chapters 2 and 3, eliminating those mental barriers that stop us from taking action. And then number 2, I would say, is actually telling yourself that, simply showing up is success. Like, if your goal is to start a business, don't worry too much about whether or not you're successful financially those first couple of months, because a lot of times it takes time. Did you actually post on social media every day for 30 days straight? Did you actually message a certain amount of people for 30 days straight? Did you actually make a certain amount of calls for 30 days straight? Did you actually work on your website for 30 days straight? It doesn't matter about the quality. It's the fact that you did it. And what that does is it rewires your mind to say, every single day I need to do this. And that goes in for the rest of the year, build momentum, and learn a lot through the process of taking action.
Man, I love it, man. How can folks connect with you that are watching right now?
So I would say the best way and the most way I'm most responsive is literally just send me a message. I think I sent a couple comments below this video. It's Jordan Rubin. There's a picture of me speaking, and then in my cover photo, a picture of me speaking at that same event. And I got my Enhanced logo on the back of my shirt. You should be able to see that. Just trying to give a visual from Atlanta, Georgia. It says the Enhancement Coach.
Right.
Or you can find my Facebook page, Jordan, the Enhancement Coach, or on Instagram at Jordan Rubin Speaker. And I also do have a website. I will let you guys know when my speaker website is actually available. That's actually under construction. And then I have the website if you guys are interested in getting a copy of Trapped in a Box. I'm going to post that below. This is one word, is Enhance Coaching Mentoring. One word, Enhance Coaching Mentoring .bigcartel.com. Big cartel, like a Mexican cartel, bigcartel.com. All right, so that's I'll actually comment that below so you can click on the link. But
well, let me
that's the best way
share
to get
something right now. I want to recommend everybody connect with Jordan A. Rubin. He's currently in overtime, by the way. He's overtime. The guy has been gracious with his time to stay here. He's just giving and giving and giving. I told you he has a heart to give. He has a heart to serve. When we come back, we're going to go rapid fire. And it was a rapid fire questions. I love that segment. Then he's going to close us out with his final thoughts. He's in overtime right now. But Jordan, we certainly appreciate it, man. I know it's going a little longer than you anticipated. But, man, I love your energy. I love your message. And I love your willingness to serve and change lives. So we'll be back. We're going to go over to Anthony Abram right now. He's going to talk about understand what you were designed for. And then when we come back, Jordan A. Rubin is going to answer a few questions, rapid fire, whatever pops in his head. And he's going to give you his final thoughts for every single one of you who are ready to live the life, not that you deserve, not that you dream, but the life that you want. It's going to happen for you. We'll be back in just a moment. Take it away.
I need you to listen, like, now, please. Now, my dad's about to do something absolutely amazing. I need you to hit that like button and share this to all your friends. Please?
This is Anthony Abram, and I am excited to be back with you guys one more again at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Today is my January 1st. Now look, last week we talked about number 1, but now we're going to talk about number 2 and how to maximize your potential. The second step in maximizing your potential is this, is you got to understand what you were designed to do. Again, you got to understand what you were designed to do. Now, I remember this story. I remember back some years ago when I bought my son a drum set. All right. And I bought this drum set and I set up before Christmas trying to put it together, but I was going to be the big man, right? I didn't need the instructions. I was going to put it together. I must have set up all night trying to put that drum set together. And, you know, I had this piece here and that piece there. And ultimately, you know, somebody had to come knock me on my head and say, boy, read these instructions and make it work. It's like, oh, you know, oh, now I understand. This piece fits into here. The same thing happens with you guys. Once you begin to understand what you were designed for and you ask your source what you were designed for, it makes it a lot easier for you to fit in and better understand where you fit into this world, how you were designed to be great, and how to show up at your best life. Okay, so listen, again, remember what you were designed for. Okay, before I get out of here, hey, come back in next week for step number 3. Hey, listen, again, this is Anthony Abram. Thanks for tuning in to Happy Entrepreneur Show. As always, I leave you with this. Sow good seeds, do good work, reap, then teach to repeat. Until next week. Peace.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused, well, late night show in the country where we're on a mission to inspire, to empower, and to provide resources necessary for the entrepreneur to live and execute the vision they have for the people they were called to serve. And we're talking with the guest expert this evening or this morning or tonight or whatever time it is for you, whatever you're watching or listening in the world, about really how to live the life you really want. And so I'm going to go rapid fire. I'm going to ask a few questions, and he's going to answer whatever pops in his mind, top of mind to him. And then I'm going to ask him to give his final comments to share with you, to encourage you, or to inspire you to live the life you really want. So Jordan, I guess the question comes up now, since you told us your life story throughout this episode, is what does Jordan do for fun when he's not out saving the world and doing the personal and professional development?
Man, I do a lot of things. You know, when I do have the free time, like I said, I love going for a run. And I also mentioned this earlier. I didn't plan on talking about this on the show today. I kind of wanted to keep it, you know, make sure this was something I actually wanted to commit to. But I think today kind of, you know, really reassured that, you know, back in high school, I was on the swim team and, you know, I was a competitive swimmer there. And, you know, that was an amazing passion of mine back then. And I really just, I wanted to swim in the Olympics. I wanted to be like Michael Phelps. And, you know, that was my big goal back then. And, you know, I'm kind of thinking like, shoot, I mean, I'm 23 years old now. I'm obviously not on the high school swim team, not going to swim in college, but shoot, I could get into a competitive swim meet. So I'm really looking at 2020. I'm going to go to some competitive swim meet. I've been doing that a lot more than running. I would say with the, you know, even in Atlanta, it's pretty brutal weather down here. I know in DC it's got to be like 12 or something, but down here it's 30s and 40s, so not necessarily running weather. But swimming has definitely been just an amazing, not just a great workout, but I can come up with a lot of business ideas literally through swimming laps, like thinking, I look at it as like when I'm running, and I just thought about this today. When I'm running, I come up with great ideas because, you're releasing endorphins, getting a work, come up with great ideas. You also come up with great ideas in the shower. So I said, hey, I'll combine those two and swim. I get a workout in, get around water, come up with genius ideas. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of that, and I love it. So
man, I love it, man. You should definitely do that. Remind me to connect you with Deborah Gardner. She may be watching right now. She's from Phoenix, Arizona. She was an Olympic swimmer, by the way, a good friend of mine. Wrote a book called Compete in the Fast Lane. And she's back out there competing now, by the way. Just a super incredible good friend of mine and a speaker and a member of the National Speakers Association and the Speaker Hall of Fame, and just an amazing human being. So I'll make sure I connect you with her. Okay, question number 2 that I have is you mentioned one of your mentors along the way. Tell us one lesson that you learned from one of your mentors. I know you mentioned one, it might be the same one that you've had. What's one lesson you learned from them that you would pass on to the viewers that are watching now?
Oh, man, I've had a lot of different mentors. I would say especially in the year 2019 was the year I really actually reached out and was even willing to invest money into certain mentorship programs. And that's, how you get people's attention. Invest in those coaching programs. That's how you get attention. That's how you get information. And there's just so many lessons. I would say the biggest one I learned, I got to give a shout out. I don't know if he's watching. Marshall Gillen. He's been one of my mentors. I was a part of his top paid speaker group and his Facebook group, Transformation Alpha. His biggest advice was just be authentic in everything that you do. And, the biggest thing I noticed from him is, I always thought that in order to be a great coach, you have to be making more money than the people you're coaching. This guy makes like a solid couple 6 figures. His clients will make like 7 figures speaking. I was like, what? Your clients make more money? What? And it's like, because he has the tools and he's helped them. And I'm like, he's just authentic about his story. Sure. And, I definitely am implementing that in every aspect of my life. And I think that's the only way to live. What are you trying to hide from people?
Good. Last question, rapid fire. So what's next for Jordan? Now that Jordan says he may go swimming, he might do competitive swimming. What's next for Jordan on the business side? What's a big push for you in the next year?
Yeah, so now that I have my book out, I think that was my biggest project of 2019 was just finishing up the book and realizing all the other hurdles about that. That comes in any business, is like the editing, the formatting, the rewriting, like all these different things that I had to do. But now that I have my book out, my ultimate goal is to just share my message, the book with as many as, but also to capitalize on that. My book really talks about mindset. It really talks about networking. It really talks about relationships and really escaping that box. But I also want to really capitalize on that. And that's why I did my 72-hour fast, is to really focus on, how to enhance your physical and spiritual health. I've been doing the meditation and the breath work. And I think 2020, when I release, it's going to be February or March. I haven't decided on a date. I'm going to be releasing my online enhanced coaching program, and it's going to be based on Trapped in a Box, but it's also going to be focused a lot more on the internal growth. Because look, if you want to be successful in business but actually maintain it, you got to be willing and able to take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, so that when you're going through the difficult times in business, you're able to stay consistent because you have that confidence in yourself. You have like, look, if I can get up at 5-6 o'clock in the morning and do a workout every single day, and I can eat healthy, like I have what it takes. I'm healthier than 90% of people across the world. Yeah. I can implement a business. I can grow this. I can get through this rough patch. So I'm going to be focusing a lot more on internal growth and sharing my message with as many people as possible, as many people as I feel. I host my own events in Atlanta as well. I'm actually having one on January 6th, the Enhancement Workshop. And, that's more to bring the people that are interested to my events rather than going to a speaking engagement where it's like, I don't know who's going to be there. Mm-hmm. I have my own events, and I bring the people that are really looking to enhance their life, the people that are of this generation and really looking to start businesses, really looking to get healthier, really looking to improve their mindset. That's the place for you, and I'm just going to be going all in on all that.
Man, so well said, man. So well said. Well, let me first say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Thank you for taking time. We know you can always make more money, Jordan, but you can never make more time. And so you're giving us the most precious resource that you have, and we certainly appreciate it. Appreciate your patience. I appreciate you being here. We got to have you back, man. We got to have you back. So we got to have you back on the show.
I got to be back. I want to.
This is cool. Today we just kind of went all over the place. He said, Shay, we can talk about any and anything. I can land anywhere. And we just had a really fun conversation, but we got to check back in this whole Enhance when he launches it and how he's helping people really live their life, and he'll break down the formula that he's using as well. What I'd like to do now, if I can, Jordan, is turn it over to you to have your final thoughts, your final comments for everyone that's watching right now, for those folks that are viewing, for those folks that are watching live. And we want to thank all of you who listen to the replays or watch us on Apple TV or Amazon Fire or YouTube TV or Roku or even all the podcast stations. Thank you so much. Jordan, you're amazing. Over to you, man, to give your final comments to encourage or empower or inspire people just to really live their best life.
Man, this has been an amazing show, and I really appreciate you being on here. And all you guys who are tuning in, I really appreciate you, not just watching, but also commenting and really following along. I hope you got some significant value. The one thing I want to leave you here with, because, there's a lot of tactics being thrown around. There's a lot of stories being thrown around. I really want you to look internally and understand. And I know that this isn't necessarily a fun subject to talk about, but your life on this earth, no matter what your beliefs are about afterlife or, reincarnation, I don't know what your beliefs are, but your life right now in this body on this earth is limited. And honestly, that should be enough for you to think, am I living in the best purpose right now? Am I serving the world the best way that I can right now? And if you're not, most people on their deathbed, their biggest regret isn't that they made a mistake on something or they tried and failed. It's because they didn't do certain things. They didn't spend enough time with their family. They didn't go out and start that business that they wanted. They neglected their mental health. They neglected their physical health. That's the regrets that people have on their deathbed. And I know most people don't think about that until they're actually there. But the time is limited. So if you want to start that business, do not wait for the ball to drop on January 1st, 2020. Get started today. And I understand if you're on the East Coast like me, most of the day is already over, but it's not too late to get started. And I love how you brought up your sign right there. Do something great today. Yeah. Even if it's just one thing to get you moving in the right direction, do something great today. Thank you, Shay, for having me on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you so much. With that being said, you guys have been listening to the one and only, the awesome man himself, Jordan A. Rubin, the Enhancement Coach. With that being said, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Hit the share button. Pay it forward. Come back and watch us again. For those folks that are just tuning in for the first time, I want you to know that today is your January 1st. Look right below the video and write that. Today is my January 1st. You can do whatever it is you want to do as long as you do exactly what Jordan said, and that is take action and have the right mindset. With that being said, my name, by the way, for those folks that are just tuning in, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless, and I wish you all success.
Please go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
And I'm here right now in this moment with none other than the one and only Dr. Willie Jolly. What's up, my friend?
It's a privilege and a pleasure and a treat and a treasure to be in your presence.
All right, Delator, we're going to get started. You ready, Delator?
I'm ready, friend.
You ready, Dr. Connett?
Ready, ready.
None other than Andy Henriquez. And we have someone like a Dr. Sonia, who's a bad sister. All right, now, go ahead with your bad self. None other than the Kim Warren Martin. That's the promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody and they stay there.